Hi, beautiful subscribers. I hope you guys are having a great week. And this is a long awaited video. So, whoop whoop, here it is. I'm going to be showing you how I got this beautiful ombre purple color. You guys have been loving it on my Instagram. If you don't follow me already, you can just click there to follow me. And let's just get into the tutorial so you can see how I got this wonderful hair. The hair is from Face Beauty Hair. I'll insert everything in the description box below. It comes already blonde, which honestly is the best way to go. And it also has a closure that has baby hairs. I love the baby hairs on there, but it's really good to just get blonde hair so you don't have to damage the hair by bleaching. Also going to be using a white conditioner. It's very important you have a white conditioner, a mixing bowl, and obviously my little brush that I use to brush on the color. People always forget gloves, and it's really important because especially when you're dyeing hair, you don't want the dye to affect your nails. And a lot of times, especially if you have the nude colors and everything, you need gloves. Gloves are really important. Also, you need trash bags, and you can use trash bags to kind of lay the hair on so it doesn't get as messy as like putting it on your sink. And last but not least, but most important, you need the hair dye. I use 2 of the rich eggplant and 1 of the royal navy because I use less of the royal navy than the eggplant. Now let's start mixing. Let's talk about this mixing process. I start with the white conditioner. It's important for you to have white conditioner because this is what makes the color stand out. I don't really measure, which is really bad, but at the end of the day, you kind of can eyeball what you want. So I start off and I put actually a generous amount of rich eggplant in the bowl because the rich eggplant is the most important color. Then I go in and I just put a little bit of the royal navy, not as much as the rich eggplant, maybe like 1/4, and I just mix it all up. Make sure it's well mixed because you obviously don't want the color itself to be streaky, because if it's streaky in the bowl, it's gonna be streaky on your hair. Go. Sorry. So I'm just using a chair for the purpose of recording, just because I'm recording for you guys, and I just really just put the trash bag over the chair just to make sure that no dye gets anywhere. I'm trying to make this process as non-messy as possible because trust me, it can get messy. As you can see the color of the hair. It's blonde, very, very blonde. Saturate the top part. I'm not going to go to the bottom part yet because remember, we're doing an ombre. If we're doing an ombre, we're going to start from the dark first, then go to the light. So I start off really working the color into the hair. It's very important for you to get every last section of the blonde. You don't want your hair looking patchy, you don't want it looking weird or anything like that. So I actually take a lot of the dye. As you can see, I keep piling it on. You can do this with any color. You can do this with green, you can do this with blue, you can do it with really any color, but I just chose purple because I asked my Snap fam, hey Snap fam, and they said that I should do purple. So I was like, okay, cool, they like purple, I would like purple. And as you can see, I'm really opening up the hair to make sure that all the parts of it are dyed because it's very important. I'm telling you, don't forget any part of the hair. And that's why I'm kind of like spreading it out a little bit on the trash bag, massaging the color in, and then working my way downwards to kind of start that ombre effect. Combing is very important because it also helps distribute the color, but I'm only combing like halfway. I'm not combing all the way to the bottom yet, but I'm just combing halfway and adding more color as I comb because I need that fade. So I'm basically combing the color down. I'm not touching the bottom with my hands or anything. I'm just combing all the color down so it gives a nice wash at the end. So see how I'm like just combing it down. And then on the top, what I do is I like to even add a little more color. So you can see already there's like a nice balayage going on, but I add a little more color to the top so the top can stand out because we've put the color in the hair already and it's kind of fading, but we want the top to really stand out and be the darkest part. I do have 3 bundles of this hair, and so we repeat the whole process all over again for the next couple of bundles. But keep in mind though, keep in mind that we have to really take our time with this. If you're doing this on your real hair, you would do this exactly the same way. Make sure that the color is well saturated. And so I'm going again, putting the color on top. Now, the reason why I used navy instead of using black to darken the eggplant is because if you use black to darken the eggplant, it might turn out a different color. But if you use navy is a darker color, so it will kind of give like a nicer effect than if you use black. So just take my word for it. If you want to darken a color, use a color that's kind of similar to darken it instead of using black, because black can actually go wrong, and I feel like the ombre tips will not look as lavender. Making sure the color is well saturated. Now I'm showing you guys the steps because it's very important to note that as you can see, I'm going over a couple of times. I'm not just putting it on and just being like, okay, cool, that's it. I'm making sure it's really in there because I don't want any blonde patches or anything. Now for the closure. So at first, honestly, I put a bag underneath the closure because I didn't want the lace underneath to get dyed. But then I realized it's kind of inevitable. When you wash it out, the lace will be light purple. However, you can always put concealer on your part. So that's exactly what I did when I wore the wig. And the same method I'm doing, as you can see, there's like dye on the lace, but we'll wash that off. And when we wash that off, you can always put concealer that's like your skin color now, of course. Closure is very important because if you don't make sure all the dye is in there, then what's gonna happen is there's gonna be patches, and if there's patches, that's the worst. And distributing that color down with a comb. I know you can't really see it, but you can kind of see that I'm just really massaging that color down. I'm not adding any more color, only to the top of the hair, not to the bottom. So you can see a close-up of how lavender the tips are. All I did was put the closure and the 3 bundles in a trash bag, and I actually left it overnight for like 12 hours. And I think I left it a little more than that, but I know I left it in for a long time. I think it was the next day, and then I washed it out. And then after I washed it out, I put some perm rods in it, as you can see here, and I put a little bit of setting mousse. Mousse is very important, so I put a little bit of setting mousse and I put these perm rods just to give it a little bit of curl, a little bit of body. And I've found that drying it on the hanger makes it dry all the way in comparison to like draping it over something. So this is a great tip to use to dry your bundles. So now the making of the wig, I just wanted to add this part in here just in case you guys had any questions about how to make the wig and everything. So I just took out, as you can see, those curls are juicy. Like, look at those curls. And I just basically sewed it on. I do have a video on the do's and don'ts of making a wig. I could do an updated wig video if you guys really want, but the truth about it is it's the same process all the time. You're just really sewing it on. If you're doing the balayage on your own hair or the ombre on your own hair, you don't even need all this. So just pinning the closure, making sure the closure is secure on there, and then I sew on the wig. Now at the end you will get this beautiful thing. So here I'm just trimming down the baby hairs, making sure the baby hairs are nice and short. We don't want long baby hairs, obviously. You don't, it's not natural looking. But as you can see, the color actually came out really nice. The front part, which is the closure, for some other reason looks a little more blue. I think it's because it took up more blue dye. However, I kind of like the contrast against the lighter purple. Fluff the hair out. I acted like it was my own natural hair, and I just used a pick and fluffed it out so that way it can look really nice and really puffed out and big, because I love big hair. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it was kind of long, but I really wanted to show you guys how to achieve beautiful color on your hair. And yeah, have a great day, have a great week. Follow me on all my social media as usual. I love you guys so much with all my heart, and bye.